Good morning, everybody. My name is Laura Rabin. I am a public information officer with the McBride and Nogale Canyon fires, and I'll be giving a general update. Starting with the McBride fire. The McBride fire now is 6,167 acres. It is 0% contained still. 207 homes have been lost in the course of this fire, and we are confirming 2 fatalities at this time. The Nogale Canyon fire, burning 1 mile south of the town of Nogale, New Mexico, is 427 acres and 4% contained. 6 homes and 8 outbuildings have been lost. No fatalities and no injuries on the Nogale Canyon fire. I'd now like to introduce the mayor of the village of RUIDOSO to say a few words.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. I'm Mayor Crawford. Just want to reach out to the community and let them know that the administration is moving into recovery plans. So if you're displaced, you've been evacuated, you know of someone that doesn't have a place to stay, please reach out to the hotline and we can make accommodations for you. The donations from the surrounding communities have been unbelievable. We so much appreciate everything that's been done, but we're full. And so we're trying to use those resources that we've been giving adequately and efficiently. So we have plenty of food, we have plenty of clothes, those kind of things, but we still appreciate and need your prayers and your thoughts. Again, our hearts go out to the family of the deceased, to those that have lost their homes. So we're working hard on the future plans. We have a lot of state agencies, federal agencies, from whom we've heard from all that will be coming to RUIDOSO shortly, and we're working on long-term plans for rebuilding, taking care of the folks that live here in this community, the children. We've been in contact with the schools, so we're planning on school opening on Tuesday. And again, if there's anything that anyone needs from the village, please reach out to the hotline. We are active, we're on the ground, and we turned the fire over to these guys earlier, and so our job now is in recovery, and that's what we want to do. But again, thanks everybody for coming, and if there's anything the village can do, please reach out. We're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next, we have an update on fire activity from Incident Commander Dave Bales.
So good morning, everybody. Again, Dave Bales with the Southwest Incident Management Team 2 in command of McBride and Nogale Canyon fires. Yesterday was a successful day for us. We were able to capitalize on the hard work that the local initial attack and Type 3 organizations did. We were able to get a lot of resources in. We've ordered a lot of engines, hot shot crews, additional aviation crews. You know, they're coming in from all over the country, so it takes time for them to get here. Once they got here, getting them out on the line to really start securing the perimeter of McBride and Nogale Canyon. So that's where we're concentrating on our efforts, using aviation and those ground resources to do that. Also working in and around these structures that have burned and making sure it's safe. So as we mop up, you know, any of the hot embers that are around there. So we have engine crews working on that kind of stuff. That work continues today. Today is a different weather day than we had yesterday. Today's a little hotter, a lot drier, and going to be a lot more windy. We have red flag wind conditions today. Again, that often hampers our aviation assets. So we've had, again, a lot of resources coming to us. We're getting the resources we need. We appreciate everyone sending the support to these fires that we have, and we're getting them out online again to work on those perimeters and in and around the burned structures. So today we're hoping for a successful day through the weather. But yeah, we're making progress again, capitalizing off all the hard work that's been done to this point. So thank you, and I'll be available for questions here too.
Good morning, I'm Carrie Gladden. I'm the village PIO for the village of RUIDOSO. I'm just going to quickly go over the evacuations, all of which are still in place. Nothing has been lifted. We've got Moon Mountain, Gavilan Canyon from Highway 70 out to Eagle Creek, everything east of Hull Road, Homestead Acres, Rancho Ruidoso Estates, Deer Valley, Deer Park, and Alto east of Flute Player. So those are all still in place. No evacuations have been lifted at this time. And with that, we'll open it up for questions from you guys. Gabe?
About how many units have come in to help out the Type 1 fire team?
Just read
So the question was, how many units have come in to help out the Type 1 team? I don't have an exact number. I know today, just this morning, we had like 14 additional engines, 2 more crews that were just getting assigned this morning. So as these engines, we have a lot of orders out. As they start to come in, we're pushing them out onto the line. And we also cover night shifts as well, because as far as day and night, right? So a lot of them are getting bed rest and going out tonight. So we're getting adequate resources today. Again, a lot more engines and crews are coming into. It's rough country out there, as you can imagine. You can't drive to every piece of this fire, so taking hotshot crews and hand crews to get out there. So appreciate the question.
I have a question. The State Department of Homeland Security said that the McBride fire was caused by a downed power line. Is that correct?
At this time, McBride fire is still under investigation, and as soon as we get information from our investigators, we'll be able to tell you that information. So, thank you.
As of right now, what is the estimated loss that has caused the community with all the structures, with all the homes lost, and the buildings? How much is the estimated loss in economic value?
In economic value, I don't have that number for you. I mean, it's 200 plus homes in just the McBride fire, and then the 6 homes in outbuildings in the No-Gal fire. As you can imagine, that's a huge loss, not just as well as to the economy and all that, in amounts to the community. It's a big loss, but I don't have that number for you. So.
Has more power been restored to customers? I know yesterday we were looking at 5,000. Is that improved at all?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
About electricity.
Electricity
Yeah.
restored to the public. So we were able to restore a lot of extra power last evening. So there is still customers that are still out of power. Our incident management team is working closely with the utility companies to make sure it's safe to turn back power on. There have been areas where they've just been trying to add power into areas, but I know they were able to get more power back out to the community, but not everyone is back to power right now. So.
Do you have an estimate on that number?
I do not have that number right now for you.
The other thing that we wanted to ask is that we were looking at previous maps of other fires going on, and it appears the McBride fires going into those burn scars, previous burn scars. Does it make firefighters' jobs easier, more difficult when it goes into those burn scars? Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So historically, any other burn scars, depending on how old those burn scars are, could actually help aid our efforts. So as they move into some additional fires of the White Fire and some of these fires that have previously happened in the RUIDOSO area, it's different type of fuel type. So you may not have the tree canopy and such that you had in and throughout town and in some of those areas. So as it transitions in those fuel types, we're able to access it better with either cruise or aviation. So it can help us. But again, depending on how old those scars are. So appreciate it.
Can you tell us which direction the fire's moving at this time? I know we were talking about the airport yesterday, kind of heading that direction. Any kind of direction
Right.
out?
Currently, with the winds, everything is still moving in the northeast direction. And again, we had a lot of crews around the perimeter of these fires. And with the winds today, we're just trying to keep it in place where we can, the best we can. But it is again moving in the northeastern direction.
Speaking of those winds, do you think we'll have any aircraft be able to, attack that fire from above, or is it really going to have to focus on those ground crews?
Absolutely. Yesterday, we used primarily helicopters with the wind we had, so they work in conjunction with the ground crews. As they drop water, ground crews were right there to utilize that water. We didn't have the need to fly a lot of air tankers yesterday. In fact, we did not fly any air tankers yesterday. Today we have some helicopter missions first thing this morning that took off, helping get repeaters in place, doing some recons for our crews to see what ground they need to work in, and some bucket drops. So as the wind increases the afternoon, that really lessens their ability to fly, obviously. So as it increases, we'll see less and less aircraft throughout the day. So.
And we heard a lot about wind being a big challenge. What about the terrain? Is it difficult for those firefighters to kind of maneuver in that area?
Absolutely. You see how steep and rugged the terrain is around here. Even just if there isn't a road there, it's a hike in. So again, we're looking for our hotshot crews, our ground resources to hike in, especially a lot of that north and east country on McBride Fire and No-Gal. It's steep, rugged terrain for these guys to hike into. So thank you.
Could you explain the process of the firefighters that they have to do in order to contain the fire, create barriers and everything, trenches, and the equipment that they need to have in order to go into these fires?
Okay, the process to put in contained barriers for and equipment our firefighters need.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we'll use bulldozers. That's the big one, right? That's the easiest one, putting in a line like a road. Our hand crews were hiking in with a pack and a shovel, a rake, a Pulaski, an axe, things like that they will dig a fire line, hand line on, and right up against the fire's edge is the best secure way for us to secure that fire's edge. And again, when using retardant and helicopter drops, it's easier for our firefighters to follow up that black edge and create that fire break per se of fuel, and so the fire is no longer to continue on there. So thank you. Go ahead.
What's the furthest northern part of where the fire is at right now? Like, what's the closest street it's at?
Closest street it's at right now, there's spots everywhere. So as we're working out, that's why we have a lot of different fires. So as we're working through the spots, I know it's moving towards the airport and that Alto Canyon area. Do you have that?
Yeah, I was just looking at the fire map that came out this morning, and just to give people who are familiar with the area an idea of where that fire is located, the fire is currently east of Alto Mesa Estates and south of Rancho Ruidoso Valley Estates. So we're still south of the airport, south of that Rancho Ruidoso Valley Estates area, giving locals kind of an idea of where that fire's going. Any other questions this morning? Thank you guys so much for being here. Have a good day.